Alright, what is up guys? So today I'm going to be doing my Blu-ray update for September and October. It is only mid-October now, but I know that I probably won't pick up any movies till the end of the month because I am going away to LA, so I'll probably just hold some money until I go over there. I might go get some over there, but I'm not going to include that in my October update. If you have not seen my vlog, going to LA, check that out because that gives you a bit of information on what's going to happen with the channel and what's happening in my LA trip, which is very exciting. And a few comments, thank you for those comments. But we'll get into the Blu-ray update. I have about 10 Blu-rays next to me, which sounds like a lot, but in 2 months is not a huge amount. And I think about three or four of them were gifts because I had a birthday. So, I didn't grab a hell of a lot, which is why I'm combining the 2 months. But let's get into them in backwards alphabetical order because the way I pulled them out, they ended up building up. But Wonder Woman. I'm so excited to have this film. This was a birthday gift from my boy Jim. Thank you, man. This movie's phenomenal. Definitely the best DCU movie we've had. We've had Suicide Squad, Man of Steel, and Batman Superman. This is easily the best one we've had. Hopefully Justice League lives up to what Wonder Woman did because it was phenomenal. I have a review of that. Shameless plug, but check that out to see a full in-depth thoughts of the movie. Another one coming out this year that I have a review for, another shameless plug, and that is Rough Night. I had way too much fun with this movie than I should have. People are probably looking at it and going, why the fuck do you own this? Like, what are you doing? Check out my review of this movie, and I explain why. I think this movie was a lot of fun, and it was a lot more, male-based than I thought it was. It was a lot of fun for pretty much anyone that wants to see a comedy like this. Obviously, no kid's going to walk in, but another birthday present from my boy Taser. Again, shout out if you're watching, but I watched the movie with him. We both kind of just went, this is the greatest thing of all time. Which we have done with 2 movies, we're both shitty comedies. Rough Night and the year before we saw Mark and David. Both of them just been a lot of fun that we've seen and kind of bonded over those shitty comedies. I mean, we are great friends regardless of these movies, but the next one up is Power Rangers, another really fun movie that I watched. Definitely, I wouldn't say guilty pleasure, but definitely maybe not enjoyable for everyone. I think it definitely has a demographic that it aims to, and I think it succeeds in aiming to it. But again, if you want to see an in-depth look, third shameless plug of the day, probably fourth if I go going to LA one. But check out my review of Power Rangers because I do talk about, in depth about these movies, guys. And I had a lot of fun with this movie. I think I was the perfect target for this movie, and I'm very happy to have this because I already did watch it after 2 days after getting it, and it's just a whole of a lot of fun. Yes, I can kind of see the holes a bit more now, but it definitely is targeted to my demographic and I definitely do enjoy it. Logan, another shameless plug, guys. I reviewed it as well. I have not reviewed any of the next 6, so you can stop shamelessly plugging in, guys. I'm so sorry. I have plugged in everything, but again, I'm just saying this so you guys, if you want to hear a bit more about the movie, you can check out my review. But this is definitely one of the best movies of the year. This was just more than any superhero movie has done. It's not saying that it is better than all superhero movies, but it felt like it was more than just a superhero movie. It wasn't just, it wasn't just a superhero, team-up movie. It was something more, I think, dramatic and well done than other movies have done with that kind of stuff. And I think Hugh Jackman was just a fitting way to go out. So, terrific movie. Happy to own that one. I picked that one up a few days after my Blu-ray update in August. That was a Marvel haul. I picked that one up to kind of add to it. Little Miss Sunshine. This is the next movie I picked up, and this I got to study in media class. And I was very happy to see this movie because this movie is just phenomenal. I think this movie was really well done. We really went into this movie in class, and it just shows how many layers this movie has. Steve Carell, one of my favourite actors, probably my favourite actor that I spoke about that in Battle of the Sexes review. Shameless plugs, guys. I'm just flipping these out as we go along. This movie was so much more than I expected. And Alan Arkin, again, another great actor that I really enjoyed watching him on screen. Hitchcock. This movie, it's good. It's informative, but I've heard it's very false. And when you watch a biopic, you have to, get invested with what was happening because you think it's a true story, and I did, and I enjoyed it for that. But I heard a lot of it was actually a lie. A few of the details were kind of skewed, but he is a great filmmaker. I am a huge fan of Psycho, one of my favorite movies of all time, and you know, movies like Birds and Rear Window, and I can go on. He's just such an iconic filmmaker, and I really need to watch some more of his stuff, pick up more of his stuff, than just a movie made about him. But you know, this movie, it did tell you a bit about him, and it was definitely interesting to see that what's true and what not. Obviously, you can't really tell until you look it up after, but I'm happy I own it nonetheless. Another movie that is just so iconic. I don't know if I say another movie that's iconic. Hitchcock's not iconic. Maybe Hitchcock himself is iconic, but Ferris Bueller's Day Off. This is just definitely a classic from a time that I was not alive, but it's a funny, fantastic film. I think is, again, iconic's a big word to say because it is. It's a lot of fun. This movie is very well done, very enjoyable. Probably I reckon one of the most enjoyable movies of all time. That's a big call, but it is. It's a lot of fun. And when I say enjoyable, because sometimes I say enjoyable, it means I enjoyed it, but it wasn't fantastic. This one was enjoyable, and I liked it. I think it was really well done. I think a lot of people that love it. Love Matthew Broderick. Love John Hughes. So it's definitely a great movie. I'm happy to pick that one up. Another one related to my last Blu-ray update was Captain America: First Avenger. I didn't have this one when I did my Marvel haul. I had to get this one later. I got this a few weeks after. So I finally completed the collection. This is definitely the worst Captain America movie, which, I mean, I'm not shit-talking this movie. It's not one of my favourites, but it shows how good the next two were. But yeah, definitely an important part of the Marvel DC universe. What the fuck? The Marvel Cinematic Universe. The MCU, not the MDCU. I'm making shit up. Blade Runner, another shameless plug. I obviously talked about it a little bit in my Blade Runner 2049 video. It's actually out now. It's not out while I'm filming this, so this is going to be a bit weird talking about it, but I talk about a little bit of it. I definitely respect this film. It's not a movie I definitely love, but I definitely respect it. I think it's a really well made film, but it's one of those movies you got to watch multiple times, and I don't think it was just up my alley really, but I definitely respect the filmmaking of it. And the last one is A Clockwork Orange. This movie I picked up a few weeks ago, and I haven't watched it since, and I haven't watched it ever fully. Sounds weird though, because I was scared shitless of this movie. I walked out as my parents were watching this as a kid, and I remember just freaking out. This guy was like beating people up and shit, and it just kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies a little bit, and I've never been able to go back, not because I was scared and going, I don't, traumatic and shit like that. It's just because I haven't had a chance to actually see this movie, because it's rated R in Australia, which is crazy. That is so rare for a movie to be rated R. I worked at a cinema for 2 years. Only one movie came out and it was rated R in Australia, and that was a Quentin Tarantino film, Hateful Eight. So it shows how an R rating so crazy, but I haven't had a chance. It's not really shown on TV much or whatever. So I finally picked it up, and I will definitely watch this in the next coming days. But that is it, guys, for my Blu-ray update for September and October. As I said, I've got plenty of stuff coming out. I've got a Rewind review coming out, and it may have been connected to one of those movies. I'm not going to say what it is, but it may have a connection to one of those movies. My Rewind review for, again, I'm combining September and October because I didn't really film much in September, so I'm combining the 2 months for my Rewind review, as well as I've got normal reviews coming out pretty much every day now, and I've got actually a top 10 horror film, which I keep looking back. I'm looking at the Blu-rays, guys. Don't look. Not looking at nothing. I've got a top 10 favorite horror films video coming out. So check that out when it comes out in a few days. I'm thinking maybe half a week or a week after this one would be out. I should kind of think ahead because I'm filming these a bit early, but I've got a lot of stuff coming out. Thursday 26th, it kind of flattens and stops for 3 weeks, as I spoke about in my Going to LA vlog, and so up until that point I'm releasing a video every single day, so definitely stay on top of the channel. Be ready to watch some video, guys. Press that subscribe button to come back. You can like, you can comment what you thought of the video, and of course, have a good one.